In this lecture segment, we'd like to give a quick introductory overview of Java before we take a look at its specifics and then start getting into the language itself. Okay, let's get started. Java has been in existence since the early days of the Internet. It was introduced in 1995 by Sun Microsystems, and it's still going strong today. When HTML and web pages first arose in the early 1990s, they were originally very static displays of information. Once the initial euphoria wore off, the need soon arose to add more dynamic content into web pages, such as interactivity, animations, embedded applications, etc. But at the same time, all of a sudden you had computers all over the world exchanging information, but all these machines constituted a huge heterogeneous environment. Some were Windows platforms, some were Mac platforms, others were running various flavors of Unix, and whatever other OS or CPU combinations you can imagine. So into this void stepped Java. It offered the promise of platform independence, of being able to provide internet content in a platform-neutral way. Java was made freely available to developers, and its original mantra was, write once, run anywhere. It quickly became popular, and it's still going strong some 20 plus years later. Java and Sun Microsystems were acquired by Oracle in 2010, so Oracle is now the custodial organization of Java. So for the past 25 plus years now, Java has remained a popular general-purpose object-oriented programming language. Here are a few representative citations and metrics I've found online. Here's a reference from Wikipedia about Java, indicating that Java is one of the most popular programming languages in use, with a reported 9 million developers worldwide. I would imagine that number has only grown considerably since then. Actual popularity with developers is kind of hard to measure. It's a bit subjective and, frankly, depends upon the source of information and their particular emphasis. For example, notice here that 3 different languages are number 1. Depending upon the source. Nonetheless, here are 3 rankings I found online, and you can take a look at these sources for yourself. These URLs are posted in this week's lecture materials. Java is currently number 2 in the TIOBE Programming Community Index for July 2021, was its Language of the Year for 2015, and has been a consistent number 1 or number 2 for the past decade. Java is currently number 2 in the IEEE Spectrum list of 2020 top 10 programming languages, only very narrowly behind Python. And Java is number 3 in the 2020 GitHub State of the Octaverse, although this one appears to have a bit more of a web programming slant, as here JavaScript is number 1. You'll find Java in use all over the place. If you're using an Android smartphone, its apps were written in some flavor of Java. Java is used on the website backends for Google, YouTube, Amazon, and certainly countless others. My son's old Minecraft game was written in Java. In most computers you'll encounter these days, they're probably Java enabled, which, as we've already said, just means that they have the JRE installed to run applications. If you recently installed the Java JDK on your own computer for this class, you probably encountered a splash screen similar to this one, with some Oracle self-promotion. Nonetheless, that's an awful lot of everyday devices with Java inside. On a slightly different tangent, I want to talk for a moment about the distinction between usage and understanding. I think we can all agree that nowadays, all of us are daily consumers of software content. For most people and most purposes, we don't really care what's going on under the hood of our devices, as long as they do what we want them to do quickly, accurately, and reliably. However, someone had to know how to do these things above. That person was a software engineer or programmer. He or she has some good marketable skills in programming. The skill we'll be developing in this course, as we'll see next. Here are some quick and dirty statistics on job opportunities in Java. I did some simple job board searches using the single generic keyword Java on the indicated 4 career websites in 3 different geographic areas: Rockland, Sacramento, and San Jose. All I was looking for was the overall number of online job postings, which are tallied in the right column. All data is as of this indicated date, which, if not completely current, should still be relatively recent. Now, you have to take these numbers with a certain grain of salt. I didn't refine the searches in any way, nor did I consider any practical realities, such as degree qualifications, overall skill set, or years of experience. From these numbers, you can probably infer that Rocklin is close enough to Sacramento's orbit such that the listings probably overlap to a large extent. San Jose, obviously, is intended to be indicative of the Silicon Valley, but there are numerous other cities in that area which would yield their own set of results. And also, you'll probably notice some big disparities between the overall results from the different websites. I can't make any claims as to the quality or source of any of the positions tallied here. Having said all that, I think the overall message is still pretty clear. There are potentially lots of opportunities out there for those with some sort of Java skills. Well, I hope this will provide some motivation for you as we move forward in this course. And that concludes this lecture module. In the next module, we'll continue on with some additional specifics about the Java language itself.